Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube. It is your girl Honey. Welcome back people, welcome back, and those of you who are new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Honey and I am a British astrologer. Today people, we are talking about the Leo moon, but before we go into that, please make sure you guys are checking out my pinned comment section below. Lots of links down there, information. You can also find my website there, honeysastro.com, should you wish to find my documents for download, and also my social media handle are all available. So today people, we are going in on the Leo moon. I have also separated the video out where you can find different sections of the video. Make sure you guys check the pinned comments for the time stamps. So first of all, the moon. The moon is your emotional fulfillment, foundation, home, security, roots. It's your mother. It's how you were raised, what you were exposed to. It's the core to your emotions. Leo is in association with the 5th house. Its ruler is the sun. Leo links us to creativity, self-expression, performing arts. We can also say Leo can be seen as being a little bit self-centered, but we will be addressing all of that throughout the rest of the video. I like to start off with your foundation, you know, where you come from, your home environment. Now, when you're given a Leo moon, there is a strong connection to mum, and please bear in mind that this can go two different ways. So you can have a great relationship with your mum or a terrible one. We're going to start off with the foundation of mum. Mum either believes that she is a very important person in your life, or she is very important to you. I mean, let's be real, mum is important to all of us, right? But it's different to Leo moon. A lot of Leo moons come from an environment where they look at mum as this gorgeous, statuesque woman, you know, who is seen as being, that's my queen, that's my woman, that's the first lady of my life. Like, you know, when you hear about men who are mummy's boys, I don't identify a Leo moon to be a mummy's boy, but when they have a very close relationship, mum can almost feel like she comes first in her son's life before his wife, his kids, or whatever. Mum believes I am first, I'm royalty to my son. And that can be very toxic, right? But there can also be Leo moons out there where mum is so important to me because she's the person who birthed me, she's raised me, she's my best friend, but mum is always held in high regard. Now, even if you have a terrible relationship with your mum, and this could be down to the house position, this could be down to aspects, you might have Pluto squaring your moon, you might have Chiron in your 4th house or really jacked up 4th house. It always depends on the aspects of your moon. Maybe mum, and because this is also a fixed moon, it's also very hard for mum to see or take accountability for the things that she's done wrong. She might be narcissistic, very self-centered, and not take accountability for the things that she has done in reference to, you know, what you may have been exposed to. So please bear in mind that aspects will play a huge part in how your relationship is with your mum. But in reference to Leo moon as a whole, mum has a huge influence on how you're going to feel very emotionally fulfilled, but also how you are interacting with different people. Now, my mum is a Leo moon, and whenever I hear her talk about her mum, it's always like a movie. Like, she'll tell me how she looked, how she dressed. You know, she always mentions about, oh, I remember my mum wearing those 1950s or 60s dresses, and it always used to fit her very well. And, you know, even the advice that my mum gives me, and my mum's a Leo moon. Leo moons would have grown, let's say would have grown up in an environment where there was a little bit of pressure to behave a certain type of way, to have a certain type of persona about you. And it's usually about the mother's reputation and how she wants to be respected, you know, to everybody. So there's a lot of pressure on the Leo moon to behave a certain way, you know. And my mum would always say to me, even as a child growing up, I will never forget, she would always say, you're a princess. You walk around with your head held high, and you walk around with your shoulders back, and you walk with confidence. Now, obviously, I'm an Aries. I've got a stompy walk, yeah. But at the end of the day, I've not forgotten that, because it's never been my character to walk around like, you know, look around like that. I'm always looking around to see what's going on, but I walk with presence about me. You know, it's about being strong in your presence, and that's something that I personally learned from a Leo moon. And this is how I know my mum to be as a Leo moon, and she will walk very proudly wherever she's going. Now, usually Leo moons, your mothers would have been either very creative or mothers who were very known in their community for something creative or something that they done to bring a community together because she did that. Now, my grandma, for example, was very heavily into Avon. So she would do makeup and, you know, she would sell makeup and Avon, things like that. Whereas my mum found music, and music is a way of self-expression. Music is essentially a spell, and I associate music more so with Pisces, but I also associate it with Leo as well. Pisces is more so like I want to escape into the spell work or the lyrics or the how it makes me feel. Leo is more so about I'm giving a performance, I'm creating something and giving it out there to the world, if you know what I mean. And also as well, like Leo moons usually come from an environment where they stand out, right, in their home. So for example, my mum being Leo moon, she was the youngest for about 10 years. And to this day, she still makes jokes about it. But my point is, there's usually something about you in your household that makes you different. The first generation to be born in a new country, you could be the oldest, you could be the youngest. There's something about you that stands out and that makes you very special in that household. And mum would have also been someone who would have really encouraged you to be very creative. You know, if you're good at drawing, just draw. If you're very good at painting, just paint. I'm going to encourage you to really find your niche and find what makes you feel fulfilled, especially if that is art related, because this is literally what Leos are about. They are about self-expressing. Now, because of the background that these people come from, right, Leo moons end up going in environments where they also want to be appreciated and valued and loved the same way that they are from where they were raised. The outside world, going into your work environment, going to school, these people tend to hear things like, oh my gosh, why are you so loud? Why are you so expressive? Or why are you like questioning the Leo moon for how the Leo moon has been raised to just be proud in who they are and to be loud and even obnoxious sometimes. Yeah, those comments can make them feel insecure. I can see why you would get frustrated about that, because that's the environment that you naturally come from, is a space where you can just express your natural self. But remember, this is also a fixed moon, and fixed moons have self-centered ways about them. But as we know Leo to be self-centered, it's not like a selfish, like, oh my god, like everything's about me. A lot of the self-centeredness is kind of dormant in them, where there's not a lot of self-awareness to how they center a lot of things around them. So for example, like a Leo moon might say, you know what, I've got a child and I'm not going to date somebody if they have a child, because I want that person to love me and my child for me. They could meet people who have kids. Those people could be really good to them, but because they have a child, it's like, well, that's not good for what I want. Now that sounds silly with even me saying it, and it's not a real story, but it's just an example of how the emotional needs of a Leo moon can be very self-centered. It's very easy to block your blessings because you're very fixed on the things that you deem to be what it is that you want. And there's not a lot of space for negotiation. Most fixed moons don't always have a lot of space for negotiation anyway, but I find Leo to base their skills more so on themselves. There's always a thing of, okay, I'm dating someone, even if you're in a relationship, a lot of the personality type in that relationship can be centered around the self of the Leo. Anything that your partner does, there can be an issue of, yeah, but how's that going to affect me? You know, what choices your partner makes, the first thought is, but how is that going to affect me? It's not thinking about us, it's thinking about how is that going to affect me? So we see that there's a thought process surrounding the self. Part of me almost envies that, and the reason why is because I'm not like that at all, but it kind of allows that Leo moon person to elevate their lives. These people can have wonderful careers, these people can get to wherever they want because they are thinking about themselves always. And that's why I feel like if they are to be in relationships, and I'm not very big on relationship roles anyway, I feel like we should just pick and choose what we want to do as individuals in the relationships, right? But a lot of the time Leo moons end up leading in their relationships because they're not very good at negotiating, because they're very fixed on how is that going to affect me. And relationships are about understanding other people, you know, the collective, the others. So if Leo's still fixed on, yeah, what about me? It's not very good at reaching harmony with someone. When I look at a Leo moon, it's almost a thing where these people have either come from an environment where they have no option but to be the center of attention, or it's an energy that they desire to have. So you've got attachment styles, right? There's different attachment styles. You guys can do the research on which one you guys feel like you identify with. But I find Leo moons to be pretty common with this same type of attachment, which is avoidant or fearful attachment. But I feel like maybe the fearful avoidant attachment style might be more relatable to the Leo moons with the Pluto squaring. It's when you desperately, like, there's just that emotional feeling of, I really want, you know, someone to be close by, someone to be here with me. But some days it's like, you know what, I kind of want you to be away from me, like, just give me some space. And a lot of that is very confusing because Leos are very independent. Because of the self-centeredness around themselves, we can kind of look at it as, I don't need nobody. I don't need no man around me. You know, I'm happy being on my own. I can stand tall and strong by myself. And that sort of like mindset. Imagine having that mindset, but desiring love and romance. And when you get a little taster of it, oh my God, I'm going to attach myself to that person. But not realizing that relationships are filled with highs and lows. It's never going to be one steady road. It's just happy, 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 happy. That's some bullshit. And Leo does not like negativity, doesn't like heavy energy. It hates it when people bring negative vibes towards them, because to them it's like, why are you being so negative? Why are you being so low? Why are you being so boring? Why are you being this way? To them, it's just, this is weird. Like, it's too much for me. I can't stand that. And that's where they usually have developed that personality type, or that avoidance, that fearful avoidant attachment style, always being the center of attention, okay, at home. But again, it all stems from me, and I. And it's not, I don't feel like it's a bad thing when they are aware of it, because awareness also creates change over time. The things that make these people feel emotionally fulfilled is creativity. They need to play an instrument, they need to be writing, they need to be acting, singing, dancing, whatever it is. Like, it's like going to work all week. Work is boring, but you come home and you can play on your little keyboard, your piano, make a tune here or there. You can bake a cake, you can decorate that cake, you know. Those things make a Leo moon feel grounded and feel rooted, which is very important for every sign to have. But in reference to the Leo moon, I need that creative space. I need that space to just be able to perform and to showcase my skills. They also desire a very nice lifestyle. There are signs that can be more materialistic than others. Regardless of where you are in the world, you're gonna have or desire to have nice things. Nice things hasn't got to be an LV handbag or a Mercedes Benz. Those can be nice things. Nice things can just be getting flowers for yourself every day, growing a beautiful garden. Where we are, obviously, I'm in the UK, my demographic is in New York. Your idea of something nice could literally be a nice Benz. And even if you are into spirituality or astrology or those things, whatever, don't feel shunned because you don't ride a bike to work or you might wear leather. Leo is a sign that's notorious for doing what it wants, expressing itself in a way that makes it feel secure, which can be in reference to having a nice lifestyle, like lifestyles where you have nice things. And it also likes to pick partners who also want to have a nice lifestyle. You know, you've got people out there who are very comfortable living the life that they want to live, which could be simple nomads. It could just be living in a forest somewhere, you know, cooking or growing your own plants. And that's a really nice lifestyle. But Leo's like, yeah, but I need a bit more. I need more. It wants Range Rovers. It wants Bentleys. It wants nice things. And I wouldn't call them the gold diggers of the zodiac, because I know the gold diggers, they prefer partners who either have their money set up already, or that person is actively going to have their money set up. They will see that, okay, this person isn't really ambitious, hasn't got nothing going on. That's not for me. It's not for me. Leos like things that look nice. Men who groom, oh my God, great smelling men. Men who trim their beard or nicely, and women who get their feet done a lot, who go to the spa, like women who really take care of themselves. Now, when they are emotionally triggered, Leo moons don't have an ugly cry. You don't see Leo moons cry often, and when they do, it's a very quick cry and it's kind of over. Like, you could cheer a Leo moon up by telling a few jokes when they're crying, and they will laugh as they're crying, and it looks like it's this big performance, you know, and they're not really upset, but they are. They're actually upset. But it's easy for them to deflect from their emotions because that's all negative. That's negative, and they hate that heavy feeling. They want to have fun a lot, laugh a lot, you know, cry when they're laughing, but once they get that little piece of emotion out, they can go back to being the happy, warm, vibrant people that they are. They don't like heavy conversations or heavy discussions or just heavy emotions, because to them it's not fun, and it's not a place where they can also be creative or expressive, because that requires vulnerability. And a lot of Leo moons aren't very good at vulnerability, because again, it's about the performance, the creative skills, you know, the talents. It's about showcasing the sun in the chart, Venus in the chart. These are what I call superficial planets. I'm not saying this in a bad way, it just is what it is. Those two planets don't represent depth at all. And especially in synastry, if the sun or Venus are both squaring the moon person tends to feel a little bit like, damn, you guys can't even see that I'm vulnerable right now. You don't get it. Do you get what I mean? So Leo has to learn you are normal, okay? Like everybody else, you have emotions, you have fears, you have traumas, you have experiences, and coming to terms with accepting that you are just like somebody else. Although you guys are special, right, because you are a Leo moon, but it's also by accepting that your shit stinks too. Do you know what I mean? And when you get to that realization that, yeah, I'm normal like everyone else, there's less of a self-centeredness about how you handle your emotions. Now, in reference to dating, these people absolutely love. They love the romance. They love feeling desired by people. It's like, oh, someone likes me. Oh my God, someone likes. There's just that I feel desired. And that's enough to get your fantasies going. It's not like a Pisces thing when I talk about fantasies. Like Pisces is imagining getting married tomorrow, you know, eloping, living a life on the edge, like just me and my partner escaping from the world. Leo is just thinking about, we are a power couple. We are the Jay-Z and Beyonce. I've got a date later. Could he be my Jay-Z? There's a lot of thinking about the emotion of love and how that is going to look, especially to other people. Not saying that you guys care about, you know, what other people think about your relationship, but there's an element of, I want to show people what love really looks like. Like, you know, when you see those couples like on TikTok and YouTube, and they're always showing, you know, how lovely we are. We take amazing pictures on the cliff and we're always kissing and we go on holidays together. I guarantee the couple either have a Leo moon, one of them have a Leo moon, or there is a composite Leo somewhere. I guarantee it. Their love language is gift giving. I feel like love languages can be found through Venus and the moon, but they like to showcase I love you by giving you a gift, by showing how much they've been thinking about you, by buying you things. Like, I dated a Leo stellium and I'd probably have a gift like every week, every other week. And because my love language is also gift giving, I was also giving gifts as well, always buying shit, clothes, shoes, date nights. It's like with my ex, I would leave my purse at home because he loved just spending, you know, and it was nice. It was a nice experience because we had an understanding, right? But my point is, when it comes to the Leo energy, this is how you know they like you, because they want to keep on doing things or buying things for you, spending money on you. And it's so important that when you are dating a Leo moon, if you know that this person's love language is gift, you need to also buy them gifts. You need to show their love language to them. Do romantic things. Like, I would go to work and come home one day and the bed's got rose petals on it, roses, teddy bears, chocolates, gifts. Like, I would come home, oh my God, surprise. Even though I would always know that there would be a surprise, because that's how I knew him to be. But the reality is, this is how they show love. This is how they show I love you. If they bought you a car and have that big ribbon on top of the car, all of those dramatics, that's what they also desire to have. They desire to have those dramatics too. I've got quite a few Leo moons around me, and they get very excited about meeting someone new and going out on dates, and, you know, should I do this for someone? Should I do that? What should I do, honey? What should I do? And it's just, it's always nice to see them in that happy moment, because this is what they desire. You know, Leo moons desire that romance feeling, and especially if a Leo moon is in a relationship and their partner is not giving them gifts, or even like saying nice things to them. Complimenting a Leo moon is so important. Just saying, you look amazing, I love your hair like this. And you know how Leo moons love to be very loud in their dress sense, bright colors, you know, the biggest, oiliest, shiniest beards, or you see a lot of color with them. And if you're not talking about how they've matched their jumper with their shoes, or their this or their that, you're not seeing them. Leos come from an environment where they're used to being seen. So if you can't comment on what you see, you don't deserve to be with them. It's as simple as that. And when we think about intensity, we think about Scorpio, right? I also link intensity to Leo as well, because intensity for Leos is more external, in reference to performing and being very loud or very expressive. That can be overwhelming for some people, just like the intensity of Scorpio, which can be overwhelming. But it takes a very confident person to date a Leo moon, because it can be difficult dealing with that level of intensity and having a lot of expectation. Like, Leo expects you to have a great job, a good lifestyle, have these aspirations. Even if they haven't got them, they will expect you to have them. Even if they do have them, they will have other there's always an expectation. But that's because they are always thinking about, well, this is what I want. So dating these people, you need to know how to teach them how to compromise, because they've got to learn compromise, but you also got to be open-minded to the idea that that might be part of your job. They don't like to be restricted. They don't like the rules, being told what to do. They don't like to hear the word no. Don't say no to them, because you will see this temper, this big drama, dramatics, and the reason why the word no is a horrible thing to say. Like, you're gonna hear all of that, but it's all about how that makes them feel. And that's why in relationships it's important that they are dating, because they have to learn about their own behaviors and how much they are lacking being able to negotiate. And when they do try to negotiate, it's always on their terms. Have you noticed that? They have to learn to negotiate even when it's not going to benefit them, or if it's not a test. They like to test people, and they have to learn to have the benefit of the doubt, to understand that not everyone thinks how they think. The thing with Leo moons, you know, this is why when you have Aquarius energy around you, the opposite sign, you're learning to be a little bit more laid back, a bit more relaxed, and not have to always think about what my emotional needs are, what I want. It also needs to be about what's best for us, or the collective, or even the other person. So people, that is my moon in Leo video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.